talking about past questions for students of the senior high schools. Over 68 million blown for on past questions. What is the relevance of past questions? African Education Watch came out with some issues pertaining to the past questions. Do you think getting past questions for students is relevant? We shall settle on salaries and allowances for spouses of presidents and vice presidents. Also, I'm going in this country, Ghana. Is it an allowance or salaries? But what happens over the week? The president's wife and the vice president's wife decided to refund money. Do you work in Ghana and earn money that you can refund within a second? Oh, it needs Ghana. I'm live. My name is Ellis Ferdinand, your favorite show, The Forum. Live on 106.9 FM, Summer Radio. Guests are live. We're getting ready for business as usual. You can get us via our WhatsApp line 020-467-9645. 020-467-9645. Good morning. Good morning, Ekow. Good morning, Claudia, Emmanuel, and is Marvin also part? Good morning.
Good morning, Ferdinand.
Yes, it's been a great week. A lot of happenings in this country over the week.
Yeah.
Claudia.
Ferdinand.
It's been a while.
Sure, it's been a while.
We've
but
been...
I'm glad I'm here this morning.
Yes, great.
And also glad to see a call.
Yuma.
Oh, yes, sir, Massa.
Otidena.
Nyamina dumo na monswe.
Na momo weda na ade no bokode.
Oh, nyamina dumo wi anjina so a.
Yeah, Ghana has today. Wala sha. Wa ban na was unto san kuyi kura bibi akuyi.
The idea is things are going.
Ekow Gyan.
Mr. Ferdinand.
Yes, first time on my show. Great.
Sure.
First of all, we are going to give you 10 minutes dedication, welcoming you to the political scene. Is Marvin online? Marvin? Okay, Marvin is about getting to join us, actually. Let me welcome Ekow. Ekow.
Ferdinand.
Yes, over the week, I was in my office. Then I had a notification that you've been given a high appointment in this country in politics. Tell us something.
Sure.
Introduce yourself within the next 2 minutes.
Sure. Well, let me first and foremost thank you for the opportunity and then extend greetings to your listeners and viewers. And then special greetings to my co-panelists, especially my fellow Claudia and then fellow Nana. She's a senior back in senior high school right now, in college as well. Okay, on the issue of my appointment, I think I should be grateful to God for how far He has brought me, and then be thankful to the National Youth Organizer of the NDC for giving me the opportunity to serve the youth of this country. I believe we all went into leadership to serve humanity, and this is a continuation of service to humanity. So I believe that, well, I've served humans, and this is another opportunity. This is a different stage. This is a pure political environment where maybe much will be expected from me And since my appointment, you have a lot of calls and messages from friends, old friends, wishing me well. I thank all of them, and I hope that, and I pray that I won't disappoint them. Is it currently? People have the notion that when they go into politics, they must be rich and the rest. I believe that we, the upcoming generation, I mean, different breed of people entering into politics, we should try and then change the narrative, and then redefine politics. That no, you go into politics to serve humanity, you go into politics to serve the interest of people, but you don't go into politics to serve your interest or get money or acquire money over there. And so I'm hoping that I will deliver. I'm hoping that I'll represent the youth very well. And currently, as we consider the population of our country, the youth constitutes majority of our population, about 77%. And so I'm hoping that our challenges will be addressed as a people. Yeah.
So now that you've been given an opportunity as a deputy TEIN national organizer, any plans for TEIN? And what is TEIN actually?
Well, the full meaning of TEIN is Tertiary Education and Institutions Network, and it's actually the intellectual wing of the NDC. The opposite of, or our counterpart is TESCOM. That is the other side. NPP's intellectual wing. Yeah. So our duty, our core focus is to mobilize and then organize people for our party in the various tertiary institutions, and then put to them the principle of probity and accountability. I mean, once you are in school, you are definitely going to go into public service, and we must bear in mind that once you are going to public service, you will be definitely accountable to the people. You must be scrutinized, you must be checked, so that you work very well just in the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian. And so TEIN is about mobilizing people who will later go into full-time politics. We've seen a lot of great guys in parliament today who were once TEIN members and executives. You can talk of Dr. Rashid Purple, who was once, in fact, he is the founding president of TEIN. Mr. Honorable Haruna Fuseni, Inusa Fuseni, he was also a TEIN organizer back in Legon. And then there were a lot of people who didn't necessarily go into TEIN, but today they are helping shape the course of this country. You can talk of Honorable Pidatu, Manebu Ama, and the rest. Another Prayer and the rest. They all once served in the student front, and today they are here. And so we are hoping that we will bring out talent, people who later become good products for this country, who will only serve Ghana.
Yeah. Great. So now that you've been given this opportunity to lead the youth fronts in terms of students, any plans for the youth? Because I remembered I made a comment that on social media actually that I've come to lose trust in the youth, and if you are given the position to lead the youth, the trust for the youth, because I've seen youth in politics, youth in government now, who actually disappointing us as young people, and you coming on board as a young person. One of the greatest young people I respect a lot is Emmanuel. He's on the show as well. He's one of the greatest young persons who are into politics and being neutral and very intellectual. Now that you are given the opportunity, what change are you bringing to the system to convince some of us?
One principle I have held for quite some time is that I hate to see people being cheated. You see, I believe that once there is something due or there is something that belongs to somebody, you definitely have to give it to that very person. And so I believe that as youth, we have a stake in governance. We have a stake in public affairs of this country. And what I've realized in some few years is that there are lots of opportunities that youth deserve that they do not get. One of them is employment opportunities. Look, there are lots of people who are above 60 years who are still serving. And these guys, these old men, should just retire. They should just go home and then pave way for the fresh blood to occupy those positions. But they are not going. And so that's one area I would like to champion, that no, there are lots of people who are above 60 who are still serving, that they should go and the youth be given opportunity to serve in the public space. Now, if you look at other areas like my own area, that's the college of education sector and then nursing sector, you would see that a lot of people complete their course of training and they come staying at home without giving the opportunity to go and work. These things must end. Once you attend college of education, once you have the opportunity to go to a nursing institution, we hope that after completion, you'll be given direct employment without any form of frustration to go and work. And that is what we must bring the attention of authorities on. That once somebody, recently I was informed that about 2,000 newly trained teachers, 2,000, yes.
Yeah,
newly trained teachers, yes, are still at home. They haven't been posted. This is not right. Once the person has gone to college, passed his or her examination successfully, that person should be given the opportunity to go and work. Once someone has completed a nursing institution, passed his or her licensure examination, passed every examination, the person should be given the opportunity to go and work. So for me, I will only fight for rightful opportunities or rightful positions for youth. And that is what we as youth should focus on. There are a lot of people who are in public, like I did say, there are a lot of people who are in public service. This current government, a lot of people are above 70 and they are still serving. But if you go to other jurisdictions, you see people who are in public service as at 39. If you go to France, for instance, the France president, when he became president, was only 39. But if you look at our region, or if you consider our region, our president became president when he was above 70. Nigeria was above 70 and the rest. If you do that, you're not giving the youth the opportunity to serve. And so that is what we should encourage youth to pay attention to. Now, people have the notion that as youth, you should focus on your life, and build a better life before you go into politics. I disagree with them, because if we say we are going to leave politics, or if we are going to allow politics to be done by the elderly or people who have sort of made it in life, quote unquote, then it means they are always going to dictate for us. But as youth, we should take up challenges, own our rightful places, and the world will be better for us in our part of the region.
All right, great. So your last word for the youth of the NDC and the youth of this country as a young person.
Yes, what I would say to them is that they must be relevant at wherever they find themselves. Wherever any youth finds his or herself, that person should be relevant. You see, there are times youth expect that they will be held by their hands and then position them at strategic places. But if you say you are going to wait for someone to hold you before you get to wherever, then it means you are going to delay. Be relevant. Once you are relevant, you will definitely occupy your rightful position.
All right, great. Thank you very much. As we come back to our topic, let me just allow the rest to introduce themselves, since you don't know them personally. Emmanuel Darko is the treasurer of the MPP, that's at USA. So he's joining us from the US of A. And then Claudia is a regular panelist. He's an educationist and a political analyst. So for the sake of you being a new person, these are the people. Marvin will join us via audio since he has a network problem. So we're still connecting. Let's go straight to my other panelists. Claudia, 1 minute on Ekow's 1 minute on Ekow's achievements as a young person.
Okay, I would like to congratulate Ekow for such a feat. It doesn't come so easily, especially looking at our background, where back in college, politics was not a thing for us.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't entertain political campaigns on our campuses, and we are not supposed to be seen to be political in any way, whilst, especially in my college.
Yeah.
Whilst I was there, you couldn't even invite an MP or whatever to participate in events because our principal wanted to stay away from all political issues. So to come from such a background and still forge ahead as a young person to take position not anywhere but in one of the two main political parties in the country, I would say that is a big win. I am happy for him and I know he will not disappoint. I'm extremely happy, not just because of the position or the party he decided to join, but because I know any platform given to this young guy, he makes good use of it to touch lives, to advocate for the people he represents. And so I'm happy for him and I wish him the very best at that position.
Great.
Yeah.
Emmanuel. Emmanuel.
Yes, Ferdinand.
Yes, a new son is born into the political landscape. What do you have for him?
I would say congratulations to Ekow. I'm very, and I think the passion he have, I'm very, very impressed about it. The thought and why you have to get involved. And it's the same objective also have, especially the youth, not to be on the sideline and watch the old folks running the country, but get on board and be part of the conversation, be part of the change that have to occur in the country. So I'm glad that one of my brother of young age taking a leadership role at this stage. Most of your peers might say, okay, hey, you are wasting your time. You will not get anything out of this. But at the same time, they will also criticize you, but maybe you will not make any change. You are fighting for the youth. All those who have served in this capacity, as you mentioned in your party, they will say, what have they done for the youth? So they will discourage you, but at the same time, for me personally, I would say, stay strong. Do what you can, stay with your passion and your conviction so that you do your part, not what others have done. And I believe that I know you probably quoted the president. You go into politics not to get rich, to serve humanity. And I believe we all share the same objective on that. But it's the love for Ghana, and I believe that's why you are also getting into politics. So congratulations. And I believe that, and I wish you all the best. That do the best that you can to serve your party, as you believe in the philosophy and the goals of your party. Serve your party and also serve Mother Ghana. And in the course of doing that, I know the reward will also follow with it. So don't be discouraged. And I know Ghanaians, we talk so. They'll criticize, especially being young and tagging politics as being corrupt or bad people are the only people who join politics, which sometimes I have to argue on that. It's not about bad people. It's people who are bad, but not bad people occupy position in Ghana. So people can choose to be bad and people can choose to be good when they are given position to serve their country. So Ekow, congratulations and keep the work that I know you have been doing something behind the scene. That's one your party probably brought you into the scene to take this role. So there's something that probably they have seen in you, or they have something that they can see that you can bring on board. So just keep doing it, and whenever you get opportunity, as you said, the youth. And we always say they use the future of the country, but we less pay attention to them. But in your space, in your party, in your leadership, just do the best that you can to support the youth in your area or for Mother Ghana. So congratulations on that, Ekow.
Great. Let me go straight to our discourse. Let me start with the president's statement on teachers in this country. Ima, your president, or let me say your leader, the president of the country, says teachers can't be millionaires as teachers. Most especially, he was making reference to pre-tertiary teachers. What is your take on that as a member of his party?
Okay, thank you, Ferdinand. I think it's very good to talk about it. And I know we don't like the truth. And I'll be honest, we don't like the truth as Ghanaians. And I always say Ghanaians don't like the truth if we tell them. The same as I would say, as Ekow said, we don't go into politics to get rich. But that statement is a fact. We don't go into politics to get rich. But in the narrative, you can also name people who overnight they go into politics and they became rich. So what is the concept here? And our president said it even said to the MPP folks who want to get into government in 2017. So if you want to be rich, MPP government is not an avenue to be rich, which was a fair statement. But today, when you look back for the 4 years of the administration, you can say, okay, that statement probably might not be true, because you can say you can pinpoint certain people who got into the Addo government and overnight or in the course of the years are becoming millionaires or rich or own certain properties that probably is hard to be account for with the position they have. So making a statement, and I know probably it was misconstrued by the general public that the president is saying that, okay, teachers don't deserve to be millionaires. No. It is the fact that I think the key point that he was communicating to the general public is teachers are more of a service to the nation. They are part of the developing and educating component of the nation, that which we need to state it fact that they are a game changers of our economy. So teachers with that expectation, you are not encouraging someone to say, okay, hey, getting in the education aspect is a vehicle to be a billionaire or to be a millionaire. That is not a true statement.
Emmanuel, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Should your government pay teachers their salaries, or what is due them, promote them accordingly, upgrade them accordingly? Don't you think they can be millionaires? Because teachers in this country, that's pre-tertiary teachers, the basic school SHS teachers, some apply for upgrading since 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. They have not been upgraded. Government owes them salary arrears. Imagine all this money are being compounded. They could be millionaires as well. Don't you think so?
So let me, you see, the millionaire that we are referring to, is there, and I think that's what we need also, the conversation have to be very specific. So if I say a millionaire, okay, I might not have $1 million in my bank account, okay? That doesn't make me not a millionaire, okay? Yeah. I might not have $1 million Ghana cedi in my bank account, okay? But do I have a stable job that is providing me income on a monthly basis or on an annual basis, okay? Mm-hmm. And that is the conversation that we are talking about. Is it being rich? Is it a fast track to be a rich person, or is it a fast track to earn a better living? So if I say a teacher profession is a stable profession that can earn someone a stable living, that is true, because a teacher person should not be a poor person. So a nation that take care of its teachers is basically telling the young people or the children in that country that, okay, we believe in your future, and those who are going to lead you in the classroom, we are more concerned about their welfare. And that is the statement that we need to probably have in it as a conversation, is the welfare of our teachers very important. Yes, it is very important, because in the education system, you cannot separate the welfare of the teachers from the delivery that they are putting to the student. For instance, if a teacher salary is not coming, that's supposed to come, and you expect the same teacher to go into the classroom with the same confidence, with the same enthusiasm, and willing to teach the children, then that is false. Mm-hmm. You will not have, that incentive is not there for the teacher to do it. But to make it a millionaire, that one I will not prescribe to it that, okay, this profession is a fast track to be a billionaire. But I can say a teaching profession, it should be a stable career for someone to have a living or to be able to fulfill their vision. So if I want to be a millionaire, then there have to be other avenues that will have to generate revenue for me to be a millionaire. And I think that's what the president is communicating to the general public, that, okay, teaching is more a sacrificial. And I know some of our teachers that we have done, we can go in through life And probably we might be making more than our teachers that we know of the tutor in class. But that doesn't mean that teacher is a poor person. Is that the person find joy doing the work they are doing, but are they earning the salary they deserve? And that's where the conversation that have to happen. Are we taking the welfare of our teachers seriously?
Good.
And
Emmanuel, let me come to issues about welfare. In that meeting, the meeting was between the president and the leadership of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT. Now, the president made a comment and he said, we know the welfare of teachers, so it's not that good, and then he laughed. Then the teachers who were there laughed, and I could even hear claps. So I began to ask myself this question. Your president, your government knows the welfare of teachers isn't that good. Nothing has been done about it. And he was able to make such comment at a meeting with the teachers. Don't you think that the teachers are being too conservative? Hence, any politician can just take them for a ride.
If you say nothing has been done, I think I will not agree with that.
So what has been done about teachers' welfare in this country? Let's have a discussion on
that. That can also be teachers' welfare can contribute to the performance of the teachers, the students in the country. Okay, so you can tie back to the success of students to the welfare of the teachers in this country. Let me give you one for instance. So if teachers are not well taken care, how many strikes would you hear in the period of time? Or how many threats would they give to the government? And I know that that's the sad part, that we have to wait till election before maybe the union will come with some demands and say, hey, if you don't do this for us, we are going on strike. And that, for me, I find it very interesting that it become more political instead of we addressing the issue. Teachers, and I know when the free SHS policy comes, it was one of the requirements, one, to ensure teachers are well equipped and are well taken care of. Because if students are not paying school fees, and you still have to make the demand of satisfying the welfare of our professors, or which is our teachers. But if you use the word teacher, and that's what I want to make sure, if you use the word teacher, it's very loose and very, because are you referring to a university professor or a private school teacher who is probably is a millionaire? Maybe is teaching more than multiple universities at the same time.
Great.
Whilst you have someone who went to College of Education, came out in more of the public view, paid by the government, and probably the money being paid to the person might not be sufficient for a stable living, which I agree it has to be improved.
Good.
But that doesn't mean that nothing has been done.
Great, Emmanuel, let me get to Claudia. I'll get back to you, Claudia.
Hello, Ferdinand.
Yes, we have a limited time, so I would like us to give summary of our discourse. Let's look at the president's speech or the statement he made about teachers who cannot become millionaires because they are teachers. You buy into that assertion. Do you think the president, though as a leader, shouldn't make such a pronouncement?
I would say that I don't think any teacher has ever made a request or has ever made a public announcement or demand to become millionaires by teaching. Sometimes the requests you hear from the teacher unions and even some teachers makes the public to even laugh that these very basic things are what you are requesting for. I don't think teachers are asking for anything so big to even turn to billionaires. One would say the president was being truthful that you cannot become a billionaire because he knows how much he's paying you. You cannot become a billionaire by being a teacher. We know it. We don't need him to tell us that. It was just like he was rubbing it in our face.
So you think it was irrelevant from the president to make such a pronouncement at such a meeting?
Yes, there were other very important things he could have said to come or even motivate the teachers to do better or to keep sacrificing after what. He just actually made me aware that teachers are supposed to be sacrificing while politicians are supposed to be making money.
And which work in this country is not sacrificial? Because even if you are
maybe what they are doing, they are earning so much that it doesn't look sacrificial because everything you do as a politician is taken care of.
All right.
Maybe he doesn't pay light bills. He doesn't pay water bills. He doesn't buy fuel.
And it's not
so
maybe
he's
he doesn't pay actually.
He can save his money to become a billionaire. I don't think teachers are acting so much from successive governments to become millionaires. Come on. We know what we got ourselves into. We don't need the president to rub it in our face that we cannot teach and become millionaires. We are not asking to become millionaires by teaching. In fact, those who want to become millionaires are finding their way into politics.
Sure. Ekow is one of them, though. He's a future millionaire.
Oh, please allow Ekow. Allow Ekow. So we actually were. I don't think it was something we were expecting him to rub in our face. If people wanted to become millionaires, they know exactly what path to take.
All right. Let me get to Ekow. I'll come back to you. Ekow Jan. Ekow Jan. Ekow, can you hear me?
Hello.
Good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The president made a very interesting comment, and he's trying to explain that as a teacher, you are not to become a millionaire. You are to sacrifice to save the nation. Do you think, from your perspective as an NDC activist, the president made a very salient point?
Ekow, we can't hear you.
Ekow, can you please raise the voice a bit? All right, let's work on this network, and then you'll come back. But let me come to you straight to our next issue of discussion. Let me go to Emmanuel first. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Let me talk about the salaries and allowances of spouse of the president and the vice. As a member of the MPP, do you think that is a very salient issue? Because it has been an issue that has been from the 1992 constitution. You realize that since 1992 till now, there has been allowances to spouse of presidents and vice, and now it has been negotiated to be transformed into salaries. From your perspective as an MPP treasurer, do you think that makes a lot of financial sense to the state?
Okay. Thank you, my brother. And I know for me, I have my own opinion on that. Okay. And I know Ghanaians. For me, when I was following the story, I was like, Ghanaians, we talk before probably we go into the details of the issue. Okay. And it looked like the president was the one directing the state to pay the wives of the president and also the vice president, which was constrained in the public opinion that the president single-handed, hey, I want to pay my wife and I want to pay the wife of the vice president, which was very untrue. Okay. The allowance aspect of it, and I know it's come with the office. See, the office of the first lady and the office of the second lady is something that is not unknown. Okay, it has always been there, and being budgeted for. They have their own staff. They have their own chief of staff. They have their own communication team. It's fully a staff office, like any public occupied office. But at the same time, I know the Article 71 has been the reason for them to be lowered into salary. Personally, I don't believe that they should be on salary or a payroll, period, because of the nature of the work. And I know our dear ladies are doing the work either paid or unpaid because they are in support of their husband, and whatever the success of their husband is also the success of them in government. So why would they take a step that will tarnish the image of their husbands? Okay.
Discussion this morning. the great discussion this morning. It's unfortunate we couldn't start on time due to some challenges, but still we shall get on time to end up.
One love pour nos mamans Africa.
Next week Saturday we shall continue the same segment.
J'y vais depuis que je suis môme, c'est Waté. Oh.
We're looking at the presidents, the spouse of presidents and vice presidents and their salaries and allowances.
Mon passeport est français. Mais je sais d'où je viens. Je suis fier de mon.
Do you think it's relevant paying salaries and allowances to presidents and the vice spouses?
Fier de mes sœurs, fier de mes frères. On avance tous ensemble. Charlie one love, prêt pour la victoire.
A lot of messages coming to my phone.
Sur le sourire, on vit comme ça. Chez toi, c'est comment chez nous, c'est l'amusement dans la musique.
My guests are back.
Tout le monde est content.
Yeah, Ekow. Ekow. All right, Claudia.
Yeah, Ferdinand.
You are back. Good. Emmanuel, are you back too?
Yes.
Great. Let me look at this issue about the spouses' salaries and allowances. You've made a point that you think it doesn't make a lot of financial sense to the nation, right?
Yes, and that's my opinion on that. Okay. And I don't think that even the spouse, and based on the first lady response after the whole public discourse on that, you can see that it's something probably it have hurt. Not hurt her, but you can feel like she has been probably thrown into the public.
But was it necessary for the spouse to respond to this kind of issues in public?
No, it's very necessary. And I know to Ghana and Ghanaians, Ghanaians cannot say something. You say you are going to overlook it and let it go. No.
Okay.
The Ghanaians even will demand an apology. And I know that my Ekow will testify that certain event have happened that they want the president to talk about it. And they want the person to come out and say something about it. And it's part of the political arena. So in the political space, you expect the leader, even the opponent, within your own proponent, will want you to come out and talk about it. So the first and the second lady have to talk about it and explain to Ghanaians the fundamental purpose of it. So for the salary side of it, it does not look good, especially when we are talking about teachers' welfare. We are talking about our security servicemen welfare. We are talking about certain fundamental things in the country that have to be taken care of it. And then we talk about COVID being part of our being affecting our economy. Our finances are not in good shape, and then you are coming out. It's okay. Salaries of the spouses of the president have to be paid as the same as someone who are being voted in power, which is a very contradictory.
All right, good. Let me get to Ekow. I'll go back to you. Ekow Gyan. Yeah, Ekow.
Yeah.
Great. I want to continue this discussion next week, so I'll just do some summary of our discuss. Your party's perspective of the payment of salaries to spouse of presidents and vice. What's your take on that?
Yeah. Well, I was earlier speaking on the president's statement on teachers.
So
I think
you add
the
the two
president's
for me. Great.
Yes, I'll add them.
Yeah.
The president's statement is reckless and highly irresponsible, and we must condemn the statement he made, because there are lots of implications to the very statement he made. Recently, I saw a video of a young guy at a Galamsey site,
I saw
more or
that
less mocking teachers.
obviously.
That the president has said teachers can't be millionaires and all that. So he has taken the lead at the Galamsey site, and so teachers can also join. I mean, this is unpatriotic, and definitely the president's comment will incite a lot of people, aside this young man, to be unpatriotic, because
even the teachers themselves, probably.
Yes, and I know a lot of teachers who today say that, hey, the president himself is saying that we can be rich, so let me go and find a side job and then do it. If we do that, you are definitely increasing the rate of teacher absenteeism, because teachers will, if they say they want to be raised, then it means they would have to leave the classroom, and it won't be of help for the entire education sector. And so the president's statement is reckless, irresponsible, and has a lot of negative implications.
Good. Let's go to the spouses.
I'll be happy.
The salaries of the spouses as well.
Yes, on the issue of salaries being paid to spouses of the president and the vice president. First and foremost, we must establish that it is illegal for the committee, in Tiamwabi to even suggest that the wife or the wives of the president and the vice president should be paid allowances, because if you consider Article 71 of our Constitution, persons who should be paid from the decision of the emolument committee have been specified over there: the president, the vice president, chief justice, speaker of parliament, and the rest. There's no clause or there's no part of Article 71 that suggests that the wife of the president or the wife of the vice president should be paid. And so for them to suggest that is illegal and it is against our constitution.
But
now,
before you continue, you know that the 7th Parliament approved the committee reports.
Yes, and so it's a mistake they did, because they didn't work in line with the constitution.
Okay.
The constitution, the committee was set in accordance with Article 71 to determine the salaries of Article 71 holders. The wife of the president, the wife of the president do not, the office of the wife of the president and the office of the wife of the vice president do not fall under Article 71. So if there will be any form of payment of salaries to them, then means we should redefine the constitution, or we should find a place and then put them, rather than to suggest that they should be paid as, what do you call it, cabinet members. It is wrong. And looking at our economic situation as a country now, there are a lot of people going through a lot of challenges, and you can't burden the taxpayer with extra salaries for what do you call it, for the spouses of the president and the vice president. You can't even determine the work of the first lady and the second lady. They do not have any clearly defined job description that suggests that they have to do this backed by the constitution. They don't have that. And so to even pay them from the consolidated fund means you are burdening the taxpayer of no work done by the wife of the president and the wife of the vice president. And so it was illegal, it was wrong, and the committee, I believe the 7th Parliament especially, they approved the committee's report. It was wrong, and I don't know how best we can rectify that. Yes, of course, other people have taken the lead to go to the, what do you call it, the Supreme Court to strike that portion of the committee's suggestion out. And I think it is in order. And for the first lady and the second lady to also refund the money, I think it is in order. Okay. It is in order. But considering the tone of the letter or the tone of the release issued by the first lady and then the second lady, I think it was a bit problematic. But look, I saw a lot of anger in the release. I saw a lot of anger in the release, such that they even decided to add their allowances. I'm sure we all know that the public was demanding that they refund the salaries that were paid to them from January 2017 till 2021, not the allowances. And so for them to even add the allowances suggests that they were more or less angry. And
let me conclude on Claudia, then I'll come to you, man. Let me conclude on Claudia. Claudia,
Ferdinand,
you are a woman.
Yeah,
and,
I was. Yes.
You are a woman, and I happen to be your husband, and then I'm president of this country, and I give an order. My wife should be given allowance or salary. How do you take that?
I don't think that is the narrative in this case, though. I wanted to comment a bit on what Ekow said before I move on to my point.
Great.
From what I'm hearing, the bill actually the recommendation came to the 7th Parliament at the latter part of the year, where they were doing all their election things and all that. So they didn't even get the time to scrutinize the report. Aside that one too, I don't think the public's outcry was for the first and second ladies to return the allowances they have been paid. All the public was saying is, you are not Article 71 holders. and that you shouldn't be paid salaries. Since 1992, we are all aware that the president's wives and the vice president's wife have been given some sort of allowance in a way or two, because whether we like it or not, there are programs of national interest that they are involved in. They can be invited to programs even outside the country. There are programs they are championing. I'm not even talking about their foundation and the rest. There are ones that, because they are first ladies, they get the opportunity to attend. All these are services to the state. So we don't have any problem if they are even paid allowance, though the allowance is like somebody's pension.
Yeah.
We are not having problem. We don't have problem with that one. The cry was for them to be put there as Article 71 holders. And then the response from the first and second ladies, somebody will say it's honorable, but it's also create an impression that, oh, so you have enough. Like you actually have so much to gather, to the extent that you can go back in time in 5 years.
That is why politics is good.
To calculate all that you have been paid, almost 1 billion Ghana cedis. It gives the taxpayer the impression that, oh, then politics is really a game changer in this life.
But
because if you ask somebody to return last month's salary, I tell you, the person will go to jail.
Yeah, sure.
So it creates a lot of impression out there. I don't think it was actually necessary for them to return the money, the allowance. I am also aware they said the salary was a recommendation and that they have not yet been paid. I'm not privy to whether they have been paid their salary or not. But if they have been paid salary, it would have been appropriate they return the salary. But allowance, we all know they take allowance and nobody has raised issues about it.
All right. Great.
So, but to also make it look like the first ladies should be put there, I think a time is coming we'll regret that, because Ghanaians didn't vote for first ladies. We don't know their credentials, what they do, what they stand for. They are just, somebody would say, a handbag that somebody is carrying because he's coming to office with his spouse, and we didn't vote for the spouse. What then happens in situations where we have a president who is legally married to 2, 3, 4 wives?
Interesting.
So we have to look at all these, and then I think the thing is we have a national dialogue, open-minded. It shouldn't be about the first and second lady at the moment. It should be a conversation that should be built by a national consensus, and then we make a decision that can last, not to just talk about these two and that is all.
Great. I just try to understand why wives or spouse of individuals in office should be paid salary. I don't think it makes a lot of sense financially, actually.
Because they are virtually making me to start looking for somebody who has a potential of becoming a president.
So Ekow is just here. Just get in touch with Ekow, then we see the way forward.
But to Ferdinand, to also add up to that, I've heard people suggest that the former first ladies, Lordina Mahama and Kunedwa Jiman, Rollins, and the rest should also think of paying back. Please, nobody asked Madame Becky. Nobody asked them to pay back allowance. Yeah, Ghanaians' outcry was not on allowance. So if they didn't receive salaries but they received allowance, I don't think nobody can compel them to pay back. They are not under pressure at all.
All right, great. That it's been a very interesting discussion, and also a lot of messages coming through my phone, but I don't know. Let me just read 2 because my time is almost up. I need to sign out. One person said that was this is a lecturer from the University of Ghana. He is of the view that I should give you more time. Yeah, that is true. We have a lot of issues that made my show begin a bit late, so that is why there's no time. But somebody also said, Ferdinand, when are you bringing some of us to your studio? More time ahead. A lot of discussions. And somebody said I'll read just the last one. Sorry, forgive me. They said your show needs to compete with Newsfile on issues of national importance. That's true. We are still on. We are pushing hard. Newsfile is on its own and it's on TV, and we are on radio, but still had a chance to get us on Facebook and all that, on YouTube as well, on Instagram. A lot will be discussed. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry I wouldn't be able to read your messages from my phone. Some also on Facebook. I can't read all today. I'm very sorry. But I'm hoping to get you back next week, all of you. Marvin couldn't get a good network to join us as well as Oscar. But we are working on getting you back next week. And your last words as I sign out this morning. Emmanuel.
Yes.
Yeah, give me your last word as a sign out.
I would say the Ghanaians sometimes it's good to look into issue before probably we go into a discourse on that. And I know that's probably make the first and the second lady to take such an approach. They are serving Mother Ghana. They are serving ordinary Ghanaians, and they should be supported regardless of whatever a committee are put in place for their salary or allowances. Ghanaians have to support our first ladies and second ladies. And as Claudia said, there are certain things they do outside even their scope of work as a first lady or second lady, their foundation, their other activities they are on, they are supporting women, they are supporting children, they are supporting the healthcare system. So they are deserve to be applauded for. But the way I think the public view it, I think that was probably, it got to them, and they are human beings like you. They have feelings, they hear things on the radio, they hear things that we say on the newspaper, on social media, and it personally, when you sit down and you reflect on it, it hurts that you are serving a country and the people seem not to be appreciative of you, and that's where it's kind of strong to them. That will encourage Ghanaians that sometimes we need to be very very, very honest upfront and not sometimes we put the politics into it. It makes it don't have a dialogue, right? The national consensus. So I'll encourage Ghanaians, let's support our first and second lady. Let's support the presidency for the great work he's doing in the country. And it is not the best, but we will deliver for Ghanaians for the next 4 years that I've been given to the
Great. Thank you very much. It's been a great morning. I want to say great thank you to my panelists. I'll get you back next week for lots of discourse next week. Thank you to Ekow Gyan. Claudia, thank you very much. And Emmanuel, thank you very, very much. Thanks to the sports crew for giving me 30 minutes of their time. It's been great this morning. I want to say big thank you to my sponsors, my production team. King Josie always streaming live for us this morning. It's your favorite show, The Forum. My name is Ellis Ferdinand. DJ Louis, great thank you. Albert, my great sports king. Good morning. Great thank you for giving me a few times. And until next week, Saturday morning, I want to say great morning to Accra House of Folk, my favorite team. Petras Ali, coach, good morning. Live from Sugakope. Sorry for not reading all messages this morning from my phone and from Facebook. And until we get back the same time this morning, next week, Saturday morning, I want to say great thank you to the sports crew, getting ready for a great show this morning. As we move on to Sugakope. And until then, au revoir.